When was it ever normal for students to unbraid a teacher's hair in class?
It shows him sitting down while his female students unbraid his hair. There's been a very mixed response to it.
If it wasn't for Tony, oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning back in. I'm back with another video, and this is going to be like a reaction video, a response video to a video that has gone viral. It's a video of a teacher, and it looks like they were maybe in a study hall or on some type of break, but he's in a classroom, right, on a computer, and he has about 3 or 4 students, girl students, behind him unbraiding his hair while he's typing away. And you can tell he did this for TikTok. He's a content creator. He's a teacher content creator. You know, teachers, there's a fine line. There's things with boundaries when it comes to what kind of content they upload as a teacher. You know, confidentiality and, like, you know, exposing your students in a certain way. But for some reason, he felt like it was okay to upload a video of 4 girl students unbraiding his hair while he's typing and working.
So of course I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself in this case, Your Honor, if I may. Number one, for a little context, I had a hair appointment immediately after school and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in.
So you see, there's been a huge debate online about whether this was appropriate or not, or the boundaries that a lot of teachers break or skate around when it comes to dealing with their students, especially when it's like a male teacher and girl students, or a female teacher, boy students. Because in most cases, the teacher is an adult, late 20s, early 30s, even older. I know we all had teachers of various ages. You know, every teacher is not old and out of shape and overweight and, you know, not attractive, right, per se. Some teachers are fresh out of college. Some teachers are young. Some teachers may look around the same age as the students, you know, maybe 4 or 5 years older. And that's where boundaries can get crossed.
You think you know, you have no idea.
And of course, if you see the thumbnail, you see the picture of the teacher from the Proud Family reboot. You know, I've been doing a lot of Proud Family videos because, you know, they talk about issues and they discuss things that happen in real life. Within the Proud Family reboot, the last season, they introduced a new teacher called Brother Kwame, right? And there was a few scenes where you could obviously tell the girl students, Penny and her friends, were attracted to him.
One more tardy and you've got detention.
Ever since Brother Kwame took over detention, there's a wait list. Get in line, Proud.
I wrote about myself because I'm my own inspiration.
You see, because he was in charge of detention, a lot of them were purposely getting detention just so they could be with him because they were attracted to him, right? But as a teacher, he stayed professional.
Okay, that's enough. Everyone, your reports, you can email them now.
What report? What is he talking about?
You know that, oh, all these girl students I'm teaching or that I'm in charge of for this moment, they have some type of attraction to me, but I'm the adult. I got to keep it professional. That's where it ends. You know, I teach you this. Okay, I got to watch you for detention. Class dismissed.
Nothing more, nothing less.
I really want to know y'all opinion on this because, like, the teacher even came out and said this was like an innocent interaction. All they were doing was literally just unbraiding his hair. But when was that ever common? When was that ever normal, right? Have y'all ever seen that when y'all were in high school or middle school where you had like that fun, cool teacher, right? But then during a study hall, during a break, during whatever, after school, you saw a group of kids just playing in their hair while they working? Honestly, to me, it's inappropriate. It doesn't seem like a normal student-teacher interaction. State of teaching right now, you know, it's a lot of craziness going on around these schools, the public schools, where students are outrageous. So you have those few teachers that the students think are cool or like they're closer in age, so they become too friendly with them. They want to be too friendly with them. So it's like they skate the fine line between what boundaries should and shouldn't be crossed. So imagine how that conversation went. Oh, I want to make a TikTok video. Can y'all unbraid my hair while I work and, you know, put y'all grades in? And you saw the 4 girls just standing behind him, unbraiding his hair. And I'm like,
Wait a minute, hold on.
Still, in a classroom setting, why do you have 4 girls just playing in your hair? And it's kind of like, I seen another comment where somebody said he was using them for like free labor, showing his power and authority as a teacher, having them like do free labor for him while he works. He's working, he's getting paid, he's on the clock to do all of this. And these, girl students are just doing free labor because there's a possibility they could be attracted to him. So they didn't have no problem doing it. Because a lot of teenagers, I'm not doing that, what? But it was 4 or 5 of them just doing it with no problem. And a lot of people say, like, you raised this question, if he was an older man, an older teacher, would they have been doing it? Would they have been willing to do it?
I didn't have the time to do it all myself because it would have taken me forever. So naturally, I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out, and they all agreed.
The ages, 16, 17, there's this thing of like, okay, they're underage, but you should know right from wrong. And to them, it could have been an innocent interaction too. Like, oh, I'm just unbraiding his hair, but is that a normal thing to just be playing in your teacher's hair? To me, there's a difference between doing that for like your older brother or your younger brother, unbraided his hair so he could like wash it, get it done again, or your boyfriend, you unbraided his hair, right? But an older teacher, no.
Could somebody please make it make sense?
So there's that sense that he knew that they were attracted to him some type of way because he still had that young look to him. And then a lot of people brought up how he had tattoos and he had like the one diamond stud earring, which is a cultural thing, right? That you see in the black community, but it's like, a lot of younger girls in some sense are attracted to that. He was already a younger looking teacher. Then he had like that type of, I guess you could say he had like a certain swag to him that didn't make him seem like an old frumpy teacher. Besides the fact that he was younger looking, so they didn't have no problem unbraiding his hair and, talking and laughing behind him while he's working. But just that whole interaction, just seeing that was like,
Hold up, wait. Oh my God, hold up.
And this is where that discussion of having boundaries in a professional setting when it comes to dealing with underage kids should be discussed and addressed. Because I remember back when I was in middle school, high school, maybe, but more in middle school, where there was like a few teachers where a lot of the guys, including me, had a crush on, right? But every time a male student would say something out the way, she would address them. She would check them in that moment where they would be like, okay, sorry, okay, let me go back to doing my classwork or whatever, let me go back to studying or whatever the case was. Certain situations where, she would walk by them and they would say something and, she would be wearing a certain outfit and then a lot of the guys are like, ooh, she would check it. So a lot of them knew, okay, I could admire from a distance. She was a professional. She wasn't there to be adored and admired by her male students. She was just there to teach us, make sure we pass our class. Never had that type of thing in my school. But I know you see these news stories, you hear this, you hear that, you know that this is a common thing where some of the students have a thing for the teacher and the teacher reciprocates that kind of energy or those kind of feelings back. Where it's like, you in your 30s, right? This girl is like 16, 17. What are you doing?
What's going on? Y'all are going to jail!
And beyond teaching, I want to talk about even in the workplace, because I've had a few examples, a few things I can think of where, in most retail places, retail stores, you got to be of a certain age, at least 18, sometimes 17, depending on what the store is, where you got to be able to work there, right? And most of the managers or supervisors are always late 20s, early 30s from my experience. But there has been a few times where it will be a male supervisor, a male manager. Late 20s, early 30s most of the time. And he would be kind of flirting with some of the female staff who are 17, 18, fresh out of high school, freshman year of college, that kind of situation. I remember at my second job I ever had, a few years ago, there was this one male manager, right? And you could tell there was something kind of off with him. He had like that frat boy kind of energy but he would try to turn it on and off. Sometimes he would be professional, sometimes he would be like, like just, I'm like, something was always off for him. But then I remember about 6 months into working there was a big scandal where I came to work and people was like, you heard about, let's say his name was Adam. You heard about Adam? I'm like, wait, what happened? Oh, Adam, they called him, he was sleeping with one of the girls that worked here. I'm like, what? It was a big thing, like it was a big story. Whoever it was went and told, they had evidence, they had proof, they had everything. Never saw Adam again. And when I think back to the interactions he used to have with this one coworker of mine, I was like, oh, okay. You see certain managers, certain coworkers too close to this, to that. You thinking, oh, okay, they just asking questions, or he might be training her to be a manager, but obviously it was something different. With this situation, the teacher having the female students unbraid his hair, and while he's working, a lot of parents were coming out saying that's inappropriate. I wouldn't want my daughter doing that. A lot of fathers were like, I would not want my daughter doing that. Like, what is wrong with him? And he came out, the teacher, with a reaction like, oh, it was innocent, this is not, people blowing this up, people hyping this up for no reason. But you gotta think about it. Where does it seem right for you to have all these female students just playing in your hair while you're working? The interaction may have been innocent, but there's implications with that, and there's a lot going on, especially, we're in the era of like the P. Diddy and the R. Kelly and this and that. A lot of people look at stuff under a microscope like, hold on. It also turns out that this teacher recently got fired. Do you think him getting fired was justified, or do you think the school did a little bit too much? This has caused another debate. That was just my take on the situation of the teacher letting female students unbraid his hair, and just the whole conversation of what boundaries shouldn't be crossed as a teacher in a professional setting with underage students. And I really want to know what your take is on that. Like, obviously you can see in the media there's a lot going on when it comes to teachers or professionals in a professional setting dealing with underage kids, students, co-workers. Where do you draw the line? What boundaries do you think should not be crossed? Do you think that interaction was as innocent as he's making it seem? Oh, they were just unbraiding my hair. Or do you feel like it was inappropriate? And if y'all want to share, do y'all have any stories when y'all were in high school or middle school, or when y'all were at your job, and did y'all see inappropriate interactions between like real young underage kids, students, co-workers, and like an older adult teacher, professional? Like, let's really talk about this down below, because this is a big problem. And this is just one thing. He posted on TikTok thinking there would be nothing wrong, but obviously a lot of people was like,
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
Just imagine all of the inappropriate interactions that haven't been broadcasted or talked about or exposed. Please let me know your thoughts down below. I can't wait to get this discussion started with y'all, reach our thoughts, because this is a big problem and it's happening right now. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.